What if I told you that the Vietnam War, the conflict that defined a generation, might never have happened if one French general hadn't made a catastrophic decision in 1954? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how a single signature changed the fate of millions and why the story you've been told about Vietnam's division is only half the truth. Welcome back to Historical Equation, where we solve history's most complex puzzles. Today, we're diving deep into one of the biggest misconceptions about the Vietnam War. Who really divided Vietnam? Most people think France simply carved up Vietnam like a birthday cake and walked away. But here's what your history textbook didn't tell you. France was actually losing badly by 1954. After the humiliating defeat at Dien Bien Phu, French forces were desperate to escape Indochina with whatever dignity they had left. The Geneva Accords of 1954 weren't France's master plan, they were their exit strategy. But here's the kicker. The temporary division at the 17th parallel was supposed to last just 2 years. Elections were scheduled for 1956 to reunify the country under one government. So why didn't those elections happen? This is where it gets interesting. The United States, terrified of Ho Chi Minh winning a democratic election, which CIA estimates said he would by a landslide, convinced South Vietnam's Ngo Dinh Diem to simply refuse to participate. France had no power to stop this. They were already packing their bags. Think about this. France divided Vietnam the same way a divorce lawyer divides assets, temporarily, until the final settlement. But the Americans essentially ripped up the divorce papers and said, actually, we're keeping it this way forever. This decision transformed what should have been a 2-year transition into a 20-year nightmare. The temporary 17th parallel became a permanent scar that would cost over 3 million lives. France didn't want a divided Vietnam. They wanted out of Vietnam. The division was meant to be their graceful exit, not their lasting legacy. It was American Cold War paranoia that turned a temporary boundary into a permanent battleground. So did France really divide Vietnam? Technically yes, but practically no. They created a temporary split as part of their retreat. It was America's refusal to honor the Geneva Accords that made that division permanent and deadly. The real historical equation here isn't about French colonialism. It's about how fear of democracy led to decades of war. France lit the fuse, but America kept the powder keg from being diffused. Next time someone tells you France divided Vietnam, you can tell them the full story. Sometimes the most important historical decisions aren't made by those in power, but by those who refuse to give it up. What do you think? Should those 1956 elections have been allowed to happen? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more historical equations that change everything you thought you knew.